Hello everyone and welcome to Long's Toys. I have another Kamen Rider X-Aid review for you today. This is the DX Pack Adventure Gashat. A little Pac-Man down here. I love that kind of retro Pac-Man. And then kind of a more modern Pac-Man here on the front. But basically what these are, Namco is owned by Bandai. I think it's even called Bandai Namco at this point. And they own a couple of these classic games. So they decided to make Gashats out of them because obviously, you know, it's video game themed. They own some video games. It just made sense. So there's a couple of web episodes for Kamen Rider Genmu, and that's where these are being showcased. There's Pack Adventure, there's Family Stadium, which is a baseball game just called Famista, and then there's, I think it's Xavius, which is like a plane fighter game. So you can see here on the front that X-Aid uses Pack Adventure. It's basically a recolor / retool of Gekito's robots as far as the armor goes. I'm not sure if we're going to actually see a toy of that, maybe a premium Bandai exclusive, something like that. But the Pack Adventure Gashat is a normal retail release, so that's pretty cool. Not too much going on the top there. On the back, you can see Pack Adventure Gashat. Typical back of the packaging just shows how it works with the driver and the weapons and the slot holder and all that stuff. So not a whole lot going on with the packaging, but it looks like a lot of fun. So let's get out of the packaging and we'll take a closer look. Alright, so here is the Pack Adventure Gashat out of the packaging. And I had another scare just like I did with the double Gashat. Pulled the plastic pin out of the back and it didn't work. But it was the exact same solution. All I had to do was open up the battery cover here and make sure that the batteries were situated correctly. I guess there must be something they're doing when they're putting these plastic pins in, that even though when you take them out, the leads are still not lined up with the battery. So if you run into that problem, just open it up and try to resituate the batteries and then close it. That's worked both times for me. So knock on wood, it stays simple fixes like that. But here's the QR code on the back for the Gamba Rising game. Here is Pack Adventure written on the side in black. Looks good. And then here is the picture on the front. Like I said before, I love it. You have kind of a retro look here, then a little bit more modern look for Pac-Man here on the front. I absolutely love that. Turning it over, I don't know how well it's going to show up before I turn the light on, but that's fantastic. It's the stage of Pac-Man, him running around, eating the pellets. There's a ghost on there. And then you get the music from Pac-Man. I love that so much. That's really well done. I love the music. It's all on point. Perfect. That's just really fantastically done. Really, really good. So, of course, you have the jingle for Pac-Man when it says Pack Adventure. You have the win and lose sounds. Pretty much all this thing does on its own, but I love it. If you're a Pac-Man fan at all, this thing just hits all the right notes. So let's bring in the gamer driver and check out the sounds we can get there. Alright, so let's go ahead and plug it in. So, pretty standard Kamen Rider sound, level 1 sounds there. The LED is kind of a bright yellow, but because of the neonish yellow-green color of the driver, it kind of blends in and looks very similar, but it is what it is. Let's go ahead and transform into level 2. So it says Pack Power Cookie, which is when he eats and then is able to eat the rest of the ghosts. And then it says Pac-Man. I love it. Fantastic level 2 music. Really love the display here in the middle as well. Let's go ahead and transform into level 3. So again, fantastic sound effects there. You get the little bit of the sound of what it sounds like when Pac-Man's moving across the screen, and then you get the startup fanfare whenever you kind of start a level of Pac-Man. So that's great. I think they did a fantastic job with this. I love all the sounds that this makes so far. You're getting a lot of classic Pac-Man music, and I think that's really fun. This is such a good idea. Let's go ahead and bring in the Kimawaza slot holder. So unfortunately, this is probably going to be pretty much the normal critical strike sound, but so yeah, typical critical strike sounds. One of the Gashat weapons. So there you do get a little bit of a customized sound. You kind of hear a little bit of the Pac-Man like eating sound again, which is pretty fantastic. And then the key slasher. So I really highly recommend this Gashat. If you're a Pac-Man fan at all, or just a fan of classic games in general, I think this is a really fun Gashat. There's a lot of Pac-Man love in this thing. You get a lot of the sound effects and themes from the original game. It's a great color. The sticker's fun. All the sounds are just so much fun. I highly recommend it. But I'd love to hear from you guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Please like and share this video, and please subscribe if you haven't already. I hope you've enjoyed this look at the DX Pack Adventure Gashat from Kamen Rider X-Aid. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching.